Hey, that works out pretty fucking well. Hey, not bad. And no extra damage, but extra attack, though. Ain't that nice? Doesn't it? What a shame. One arrow rings true as it manages to break through the shield field it has around it and itself into its papery body, although it doesn't manage to stay there. The second one does get ricocheted off an invisible force. And I think she'd probably move it. Aminius?
Well, I guess I'll just start with magic missile.
If you wish. Magic missile? You want to move anywhere?
I'll wait right here.
Alright. You fire magic missile, and they all ricochet against it. Surround. Hitting nothing but a forceful field.
Oh.
You and Wise know this damn well. It's a shield spell. It's one of the most classic uses of the shield spell, if anything. Anything else?
I'm going to wait. I'm not going to do anything else right now.
Very well. It is now its turn. Ward, can you make me a Constitution?
Sure.
Out of range. You succeed, so you take. Is that half? Yeah, it's half. Half. So 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Round up. 8 points of thunder damage. As it teleports with Thunder Step. It teleports.
I got counterspell at the 4th level.
You counterspell. All right, very well. It does not teleport then, but it will still move. If you're free to take an attack of opportunity if you so wish.
I cannot because I counterspelled with my reaction.
Oh, that's right. Counterspell takes a reaction. I forget that. Well, then it spends its action teleporting. You fizzle out, crackling lightning forming in the sky. That never happens. Just fizzles out, but it flies backward on its leafy wings and goes into the portal. Spellbook in hand.
Little fucker.
And there that goes.
Can we run it after it?
If you want. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Very well.
Well, can we take a second to try and talk to the one person that wanted to try and talk to us? Because
it's your guys' decision as a group.
I say strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
But we actually have a second. We know where the thing is going to be.
We don't know how long the portal's going to stay up.
It's going to stay up as long as it wants it to.
My book, man!
Doesn't mean anything. Could be 10 seconds.
Push 1 in chat, the Roll20 chat, if you want to book after it.
Suck
Very
it,
well.
Sandra.
You guys chase after it. You guys chase after it, and though this is a door, you guys note as you guys are running through, you guys didn't see it on the other side. It's not a one-to-one door. You guys run through. That will make the field smaller because we don't need to be fucking 60 by 60. We'll make it 25 by 5. Much more. You guys run in after it and don't see it anywhere. The smell of parchment is much stronger. The murmurs have stopped for the most part, except you still hear some. But you notice that they're a bit louder, a bit like as if they're always over your shoulder, like someone whispering to you conspiratorially. And you note that they're much more aware than the murmur that you had heard prior. This is very noted as you guys sprint in. Similar to what it did before of your spell book wise, you guys hear closing behind you another book as your way back is shut. And then you guys hear some murmurs over your shoulders again. Again, you note that they're a bit more focused because they speak of you. Oh my, they fell for the bait thing. Oh, this will be very good. 3 distinct voices murmuring. You guys don't see where these things are. Again, it always sounds like they're just over your shoulders collectively.
I turn toward Eminius and I ask him, you still got a ping on that book?
Do I? Crash?
Now within 1,000 feet.
Okay. Then no, I don't. I lost it.
Don't laugh!
Do you say that out loud?
Yes!
Oh my, I think that one's getting quite mad.
Can we hear this?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you show yourself?
Oh, I think that one's trying to make instructions at us.
Just asking, as a friend.
Oh, this would be such a delight, won't it? Out of game. Out of game. You guys are in a very specific realm now. Welcome to the draft plains of the ruinous architects. While you guys are here, I have some special kickers for you. Call it regional effects. Realm effects. One of which is there's a certain effect that I can call in as the GM once per hour, or once, and then it takes an hour to reset. It's called the Page Turner. Consider it the opposite of a legendary resistance. The inverse of it, rather. Whenever I call this in, whatever roll happened just then, instantly gets turned into a natural. Then it takes an hour, out of game an hour, to reset. And then I can do it again. There are other things that could also reset it in the realm. So be careful. Additionally, the ruinous architects. Oh no, Sonia. What happened to Sonia? It says it disconnected due to inactivity, even though it was playing music.
Yeah, Sonny was cutting in and out for me.
Yeah, same actually.
Get back to work, Sonia. Get back to work. Anyways, the secondary effect is because the ruinous architects love mages. And the 2 wizards here can note that some of the tomes here, the ones that form basically almost pseudo trees. Trees are made of paper. Or other way around, rather. They love mages. Anytime you cast a spell, there's a 50% chance it will fail. Every time a spell is cast, roll a d20. On a 1 to a 10, it fails. 11 to 20, everything's fine. Similar to the effects of the slow spell, except not as debilitating, because the slow spell does other stuff.
Yeah, I'm going full on rogue, I think, in this bit.
So, my friends, welcome to the draft plains of the Ruinous Architects. You don't detect the book within 1,000 feet, and your guys' ticket home has just closed. Or ticket back, rather, not ticket home. And you can very much tell that the 3 Ruinous Architects, well, you hope there's only 3, are watching you as they talk shit about you behind your back.
I'm gonna lean in close to Minius and whisper, maybe you want to put your book in the bag.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna be totally useless. But I guess it's a good idea.
You can still cast without book. Just that you can't prepare spells differently.
Okay.
But you want to do that at a long rest anyways.
Okay. I'll toss it in there then.
Oh, it hides it. Cautious little things, aren't they? Not cautious enough.
Looking around, is there like what's the word I'm looking for? Is there like a pathway around the place? Is there like bridges that connect place to place, or is there doorways?
No doorways, I'm afraid. As in terms of paths, sort of. They're not like dirt paths. Well, they are dirt paths, but they're not like dirt paths in the sense that they're well trodden upon. It's just more over that there's just nothing there in the first place. There's open ground bereft of any sort of flora, even including grass, in between all around these trees, as they were. These tome trees. Labelless books. Stacks of books that tower. No bridges. Or actually, Roman perception.
All of us?
No, just him. He's the one asking. Okay. No bridges. None that you can see. You're just on this floating island, seeing other distant floating islands, paper, so like loose scraps of paper soaring in between, coasting on the immense wind of being so high up in the air. Or at least you think you're high up in the air. So, intrepid expeditionaries, what do you do?
In our immediate surroundings, is there like a drawing table, bookshelves? What am I seeing?
You're basically in like a copy of sorts of the place you're just in, except sans like a lot of murmurs and replaced by 3 very distinct ones. But in a similar manner to how the trees became desiccated, similar width, radius. Well, I guess not radius and not circle, but similar density. Similar size, that's the best way to put it. Similar size trees, quote unquote trees, except instead of made of lumber, they're made of books. Books that just are stacked one on top of another, up and up and up. Beyond that, though, again, it's just like you're in the same forest. Just different. A couple of things have been swapped. You know that the island ends eventually. It probably goes, this particular island goes out a few hundred feet before it just has a sheer drop into, well, the air. There are edges. It's not a huge island. Not this one, at least. You see ones that are much larger. Over, like, up and above and over yonder.
If there is like a path that leads straight into the straight over an edge. I'm gonna take a handful of dirt and just toss it into the air to see if it lands on something invisible.
Okay, so Ward begins walking down path. Do the rest of you follow?
Yes.
That's one person saying yes. Anyone else?
Yay, I shall.
Sandra? You are muted, by the way.
Sure.
I didn't catch that. You muted yourself again.
I said yeah. God bless it.
You guys follow Ward to one such dirt path, and Ward, you grab a fistful of dirt and just chuck it. It cascades into the clouds below. No invisible path. But you do note something, though. Over the lip of the earthen drop, you see a scroll, like a big roll. Similar to what are they called? A spool of fabric, something like that. In terms of like that's how dense it is. It's just paper wrapped and wrapped. Not like a reading scroll that you just open up a little bit and that's all of it. No, this thing is like a huge thing, like a tape roll. You notice that just under the lip, like built into the diagonal sheer cliff that is the edge of this island.
I'm gonna attempt to grab it and see if I can roll it out.
Reach down to grab it. It's just within your reach. Roll me your athletics. You get a response from the murmurs. Oh. There it. You pull and tug at it, unfurling some of it, and it just sort of like loosely hangs there. You pull some of it. It can go a long ways. Let's keep the story going, shall we? Hear a snap over your shoulder. And then you see the paper that you're holding onto, the one some loose paper out of. It begins shooting out like those pranks where people pull where they put a piece of toilet paper or roll of toilet paper at the end of like a leaf blower or something. It begins spitting out of its spool, covered in assorted arcanic sigildry on it. And it just shoots out towards one of the other islands. Hundreds of feet. And then you see it actually latches onto that island. Pulled itself taut and stable. There they go. One of the voices whispers over your shoulder. Oh good, I thought it would get boring otherwise.
You said
it's a bridge, quote unquote, about less than 5, like 4 feet wide, over open air. So you slip and fall, you don't know what happens. And it goes for hundreds of feet onto another island. A bigger one. Not huge, not like triple the size of yours.
I take one cautious step and see if it can hold my weight.
Seems stable. Akin to walking on smooth stone.
I look to the rest of the group. Shrug.
Shrug.
Yeah. You said it had archaic writing on it?
Yeah, like etchings. Similar to how you would use calligraphy on a scroll of paper.
Does it look like it's a spell or something, or is it
Not a spell.
something else?
It's magic, but not necessarily a spell. No more so than the artificery upon your guys' spells. They're magic, but they're not spells.
Okay. Can I tell what it is, though?
Roll Americana. Some sort of abjuration magic. Not 100% certain. You're confident it's not like there's a mine feed and you're going to step on blow you off the bridge or anything. You're confident. Then again, this goes for hundreds of though. You're just like in the beginning.
Okay. Alright, well, as we're crossing it, can I just sort of keep reading it?
Okay.
If we're
Speaking
going
of crossing.
across, Ward is going to hunch low so that he can drop down if there's a big wind and grab onto the sides with both hands. Sort of like hunched forward, leaning down and walking across.
Very well.
Oh yeah, actually, how wobbly is it? Because if it's a long thing and a bit of paper.
It's totally stable.
Oh.
Again, it's no different than you walking down the road.
Oh yeah, you said that. Okay.
Give me the marching order. You guys have 4 feet of space to walk across. So 1 person at a time.
Let me grab my dude.
Nice cappage, I like it. Abigail wants it back. Despite how weird and literally malicious this place is, she's super in. Oh, nice try. So, may all of you, as you're crossing, make me perception checks. One, two, four. 1. 7. But even with the 1 did better than the other. Oh, that's crazy. It's wild. Oh. As you're crossing, basically, literally only Ward, which I guess makes sense. Right? Yeah, makes sense to me. You see the streams of paper. They're not like back-to-back tip of paper touching tip of paper, but they're like flying trails of pages, scraps, akin to, looking at like litter flying through the wind on a real-life street, stuff like that. Just soaring around. Different streams, different currents, you might call them. And there's a lot of different things that form these streams. You see love letters, journal entries, wanted posters, missing children's posters, recipes. You don't see them for more than a moment, a glimpse, as they fly by in a moment later. But you get an idea of what each of them has, and there's just a wide variety of different pages. You guys keep going. Wise, you're keeping an eye out as you're passing over the bridge scroll, is what I'm going to keep calling this. Bridge scroll.
An abridged scroll.
Ah, fucking goddamn. Anyways, the bridge scroll. No, nothing, catches your eye. Seems to be pretty... It's like repeating Sigildry and Artificery.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like typing in like a Word document, then you copy the thing that you just wrote, and then you just repaste it over and over and over again. It's like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's fine.
Eventually, after about 4 to 5, you guys eventually manage to touch more solid ground, as solid as a floating rock chunk could be. May one of you roll me luck.
Sandra, you feeling lucky?
Sure. Where's 100?
There's no like lower is better thing for this.
Yeah, that's still really, really high.
You guys pass onto this island, and this one is a bit different. Well, more than a bit. It is pretty different in terms of, instead of having just, you know, trees made of books, trees of tomes, we'll say, dotting the landscape, this one still has those, just in far fewer number. And there are many, like almost like, you know, taking like a drawing classroom's worth and then just multiply it manyfold, of sketchboards. You know, like those big, tall, wide, tilted drawing boards.
They're called easels.
Easels, thank you. And each of them has something drawn upon it. So, I'm not going to list them because there's too much diversity and there's far too many of them to describe. But there are many of them. As you guys step onto this island. To give you just a few examples, some of them have almost like they're sketches of like from like an herbalist journal. Plants. Very detailed illustration. Others, on the other hand, are crude. Almost, it's like a really talented child, but a child nonetheless. Crude. But it gets the point across of items, weapons, armor. Others are very, very detailed. More than just the proper sketchings of plants and things like that. These are hyper detailed, almost realistic with the shading, illustrations of beasts and different creatures. Some of which you guys recognize, others not much. Others, even still, seem impossible. But never say never in the Feywilds, right? You know, you see some things you recognize here and you guys see the Bodak, you know, that big mouthed monstrosity that freaked Abigail out initially. Picture for digital map. Apparently Bodak Yellow is a card. Thanks a lot, Cardi B. Yeah. A Bodak, there you go. You recognize a Bodak here and there. You see, you think they're orcs, but there's something up with them. Their proportions are a bit too taut, so to speak. They're a bit too rippled. It's like saying like they have like a fat content of, like 2, which is an unhealthy and probably near impossible amount. Stuff like that.
Oh, it's fetish. Orc fetish.
Maybe. Different creatures, beasts, armors, items, plants, animals. You can find anything. These drawing boards.
Turn to Varric and I just sort of give the place an unimpressed look and I tell him, I know what this place needs.
He just gestures for you. Can I go on?
Big fucking moths.
Moths to the drawing board, then.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not Varric. That's not Varric. There's a voice over your shoulder. And you hear sort of cosmically, not booming, but just sort of echoing the sounds of a pen hitting paper. I really hope you didn't just give him like an idea for something really bad.
Moths eat paper.
Yeah, but what if this one tries to eat us?
Ooh, now that's an idea.
Oh my god, no. Don't, no.
Change the mandibles on it.
Oh my god.
Again, just...
I'm gonna cry.
You don't have to worry too much, Wise. Any artist worth the mettle don't bother inspiration from others. Amateurs.
What do you guys do? The sounds of something being drawn fill the air.
Is there any imagery of like deities or fell gods or anything? Or is it just more like plants and animals?
I mean, do you know what deities and fell gods look like to compare against?
How about religious imagery?
Make me a perception check. None that you see.
Okay.
Minius dies. His spellbook taken. So, what do you guys want to do?
I mean, could I ask the voices where my book is? If that would be an option.
You can do whatever you want. I just
You can certainly try.
Okay, where's my book, please?
the sounds of drawing just. Oh, and what's its book?
Yes, I want my book back. Please give me my
Of
book.
course it does. Should we give it to them?
Yes.
Yes, let's give the book to them. I agree so much.
Oh wait. Wait. No, not quite like that.
You see one of the closest drawing the sketches get erased. Like a like an etching sketch. Just when you pull the thing at the bottom, just like that. The one closest to you, what?
Oh god.
It gets purged. And then you guys all hear cosmic draw once more.
Oh, god,
And you see it's something getting drawn on the drawing board. It's a perfect, shaded and everything, drawing of your book.
Oh.
There you go.
Can I touch the paper and see what happens?
It's gonna
Yeah,
bite
so you're free to...
Oh shit, I've got a stick I can poke it with.
No sticks around here, ain't any trees here.
I'll bring out one of my swords and poke it.
Alright. You bring up one of your swords and poke it. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Ah shit. Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh yeah, yeah.